Hi guys, Kurt here, and today I will give you a little update on my eye surgery, and the trifocal lenses that I have done in 2016. So we're 3.5 years down the line post-operation, and I think I should give you a very fair review about how things are right now. And look fast forward to what happened between the last update and today. Okay, so first of all, just a short summary. I had my lenses implanted in 2016 in, I think it was May 2016, right? So we're today, what is it, December 2019. We're 3.5 years down the line, even more. And okay, I'm happy. It's not perfect. I tell you straight away, it's not perfect. There is some price you need to pay when you have these trifocal lenses implanted in your eyes. And I just want to talk about them, okay? I want to talk about them because, as I told you, I'm not some kind of a doctor. I'm just a patient, and I just want to share my experience. Honest and how it is. Now, let me explain you how the vision is right now, 3.5 years later. I'll start with the closer objects. I can read anything. I don't need any reading glasses anymore. And these reading glasses, that's the reason, because I had to carry them around. It was so annoying to have reading glasses, and I left them here, I left them there, I left them in the kitchen. I had to go to the kitchen, get my reading glasses, and then I left it in my room, and finally it broke and all that kind of stuff. So it was very frustrating. Yeah, I need to go to my shed. I'm here in my shed. I need to read something. I need to go back home, back into the home, and try to find my reading glasses. So frustrating. I couldn't bear it anymore. So that was the main reason, and yeah, I needed these reading glasses, especially for short vision, right? So everything that I wanted to read, whether it was my smartphone, my computer, just a map or whatever, a piece of paper with some text on there, I was looking for my reading glasses, and I couldn't take it anymore. Another thing, and I'm going to be honest with you, why I didn't want to have these reading glasses anymore. When you start to use reading glasses, you look like, you know, immediately you look like 10 years older. So I didn't want to look like 10 years older, and I want to have the ever youth pill, you know. But yeah, that's how it goes. So gray hair is there, so it's coming, but reading glasses makes you 10 years older right away. So short vision is perfect. Now, if I look and I talk about short vision, I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you regarding the thing that when I'm looking at my smartphone, when I'm reading stuff on my computer, when I'm using any of these electronic devices, and you look at a black text on a white background, right? The black text will be a little bit like, I could say, washed out, in the sense that the letters are pitch black. My phone now is an OLED phone, so the black letters are pitch black. But when I look at the screen and I look at these letters, they are not completely pitch black. They are a little bit brownish. And this has to do with the lenses, so it's a little price you need to pay. So the contrast is kind of an issue, and it's because these lenses, they actually project 3 images on your retina, and I think if you're looking at a specific letter on your screen, the white that is right above, next to or around the letter, is also being projected at the same spot where the letter is being projected on your eye. So black doesn't really look very pitch black, especially, well, if it's a big surface, if it's like, you know, the half of the screen is black, it will be pitch black, right? But if you're looking at objects like letters, then it's not pitch black. Okay. Now, one more thing is, and this is interesting to know, is when I just make a little tiny hole, so you've got these pinhole glasses, right? And I look at that particular letter, then it will be pitch black. So it's indeed, it has to do with the lenses that I have implanted in my eyes, right? So no doubt about it, that's true. Okay. That's the only thing that I can see when I'm looking at the screen. There's one more thing. All my devices, when I'm using electronic devices, whether it's a computer, whether it's a smartphone, anything that has a white background, I will always put the screen intensity to the maximum. Why I want to have it on the maximum? Because with these lenses you lose some contrast, and you need to have a very high intensity screen to be able to have a very clear vision on what's displayed on the screen. So yeah, if you're into having this surgery, you better buy a phone that has a very long-lasting battery power, because if your phone dies out very quickly because your screen is on the maximum, you're gonna be frustrated. Okay, so that's something you need to take care about. Now, when I'm looking at intermediate sight, and I'm looking at, what is it, starting from 1 meter to 1.5 meters, even maybe up to 1.75 meters. I told you in previous videos there's like a black spot. What I mean with black spot, the vision becomes a little bit blurry, okay? And the best way to explain you this is when I'm at the store, and the store has a lot of artificial lights, and you need to check the price tag that's at the bottom, okay? I need to actually kneel down and look at the price to be able to really see. Although the price tag is in pretty big letters, I just want to approach it because I want to get out of this weak spot in my vision, okay? So it's still there. After 3.5 years, it's still there. It's still a problem, okay? And I think it's one of the, that's the most important price I think you need to pay, okay? I think that little black spot is there. Is it an issue? No. If you're looking at objects that are 1.5 meters away from you and you don't need to read, and it's not very small print, it's not going to be an issue. But if it's small print, yes. So short vision, that's done. Intermediate vision, that's done. Now let me talk about far vision. Far vision is perfect. I don't see any issues. I can see stuff that other people don't see, that are like 20 or 30 meters away from me. The other day I was talking to a friend of mine, and we're trying to, he was like telling, I've got very good eyes, blah, blah, blah. And we started to do a little contest, and I was trying to figure out what was printed on far away objects, and he couldn't figure it out, and I did. So yeah, it's good. But again, you've got this issue of contrast. And it's pretty weird in the evening. I had this issue in the beginning, especially in the beginning. It was pretty weird when it started to get dark. So when the night was falling, this vision was like, you know, like blurry. It's not really blurry. It's like washed out. It's like it doesn't really look natural, right? So it was like washed out. Okay, that's it. Now. What does it mean? What does it mean when you're looking at objects far away? The best way to explain it to you is when you're driving on a new road where they have freshly printed the stripes, and you've got the sun that is right behind you shining on these white stripes on the pitch black road. You also might see some lines and stripes right next to it. So the further you are, or the further these lines are from you, you will see that they get a little further away from the original stripe. Is it very intense, this blurred vision? Or I would say this double vision? No, it's like, you know, it's very subtle, okay? And you don't see it because after 3.5 years, your brain, like, it filters it out. I don't care. It's like, fuck it, okay? So it doesn't see the lines, okay? But if you really intentionally are looking for it, then you will see it. You will definitely see the lines, okay? It might happen that when you have got the lights or the sun right behind you shining on a pole, and the blue background is really blue, the blue sky, right? You might also see like a brownish pole right next to that particular pole, but it's like very subtle. You can barely see it. It's still there even after 3.5 years, okay? Now, when you're looking at objects where, for example, you've got a rooftop, and you've got a rooftop, black rooftop, and you've got some sun that is coming from the back or on the side of that rooftop, and the front of the building is really dark because it's in the shadow, and you've got this very bright background, there might be some blurring that happens where the rooftop against the blue background of the sky, right? And you can see that, like, you know, if there is a stone, black stone, you might have like at maybe a distance of 30 or 40 meters, you might have like a light waves the sky that is slightly wazing into this object, okay? So it's not all the time, okay? So it's just when you have this condition fulfilled, when you have when you have the house with the blue background and the house is in the shadow, and you know there's a huge contrast difference, okay? So it's a little bit like watching this video. You see this light here, okay? And this light here has some washing out of because if I would turn this one out, okay, you'll see it's that's how it is. But if I turn it on, you see some white that washes out from the light, and yeah, that's how it goes. It's just the very high contrast objects that you have this issue. Halos and glare and all that kind of stuff. Do I still have it? Yeah, I still have it. Yeah, after 3.5 years, it's still there. Does it annoy me? In the beginning, yes, I did. But right now, did it decrease? Yes, it decreased, but it's not gone. I would be lying to you. It's gone. It's still there. And how do I see it? What's the intensity you need to have to be able to see this glare, to see these halos? Let me explain that to you. When I'm outside and it's pitch black, it's dark, it's right in the middle of the night, and there are some traffic lights at the other, what is the next road? I think it must be like about 1 kilometer away from here, maybe 600 meters, okay? And it's a very intense light. I will still have these halos around that light. It's still there. It's still there, okay? If I'm looking, there is like a very huge, what is it called, antenna from the Belgian radio station, television station that is from here visible. The light that is mounted on these poles, they're just more gentle. I cannot see any glare or halos, okay? In traffic, I think that's the best way to explain it to you. When you've got a car that is coming up front to you with his headlights turned on, like the maximum intensity, full light into your face, I will still have halos, I will still have glare, okay? But if you've got another car that surpasses you and they just have their lights turned on, the red lights, the back lights, I don't see any glare, I don't see any halos, okay? But if it's like misty and they turn on their mist lamp on the back of the car, I will see glare, okay? When they're braking, I will see glare, okay? I will see these halos. So it's still there after 3.5 years. So does it bother? No. You get used to it. Does it get better? It's difficult to say. Maybe my brain will filter it better in the long term, but yeah, I don't know. Now, question that I get, should I do this operation? It's up to you. You just decide what you have to do. For me, as I told you, it was just a matter of getting rid of these stupid reading glasses that I had to carry around with me all the time, okay? And another thing I wanted to avoid is to look older, okay? So it's an aesthetic thing as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, if you are into, let's say, electronics, you're into electronics and you need to solder electronics all the day, it's not a good idea to do this operation. It's not a good idea. Let me explain you why. Because of the fact that the contrast is decreased, you will need a lot of light intensity on these objects where you're going to work on. The problem has to do with the soldering. When you are going to solder something and you start to solder and you start to melt the soldering, right? The problem is that the solder will be a silver shiny object and it will reflect the light that is shining straight on it. And what will happen is that it will become even more difficult to do your work because of the fact that you will have glare, you will have halos to the tiny silver objects that you're soldering on, that you're working on. Okay. If you're a truck driver, I don't know, a taxi driver, should you do it? If you can bear the fact that you will be confronted with glare, and the first few 6 months is going to be it's going to be a huge thing, and you don't care, you can go ahead with it. But you will still have glare, you will still have halos around these lights, okay? So if you don't want to be confronted with this kind of stuff, don't do the operation. It's easy as that. So if you don't care, well, it's okay for you, okay? Does it handicap me? Well, when I'm doing some works like electronics, yes, it does. Sometimes it's a little bit like, you know, annoying. It's not less or not more than just a little bit annoying, okay? But this annoyance is nothing compared to the fact that if I wouldn't have done the operation, I would be running up and down the house all the time trying to find my reading glasses. So it's the price you need to pay, okay? So give you a very good idea on what to expect from it after 3 years. I think I should make a new video maybe like in a couple of years from now, like maybe like 2022 or 23. Remind me, okay, send me a couple of messages. It's because some people send me messages, when you give an update about your eye surgery. You motivated me to do this video. It took some time because I was really intensely working with my job as a perfumer. So yeah, I've done what I had to do and turn on the camera and do this video. Okay, thanks a lot, and hopefully talk to you soon again. If you have any questions, I prefer that you send some messages under this particular video or the last video. I think it was video 8 of 8, because of the fact that 8 of 8 gives you a really good overview from the start until the end, I guess, what happened with the operation. If you're looking into doing this operation, check out all the other videos that I have online. It will give you a very good idea on what to expect. Yeah, I think it's worth it. People keep on asking me, would you do it again? I'll probably do it again. I'll probably do it even earlier. I will probably even do it like 4 or 5 years before. Yeah, I did it around my age of 45. I would have done it around the age of 40 because I just hate running around with these reading glasses and looking like 5, 6, 7 years older or even 10 years older with them on. Okay, that's it. Thank you and see you again, and I hope you liked the video. Bye-bye. See you guys.